and welcome back to the reading vlog. In today's reading vlog, in this week's reading vlog, I'm doing it. I'm reading the big one. And if you like dark academia, you automatically know what the big one is. I am currently working on The Secret History by Donna Tart. I am listening to the audiobook. I have 20 hours left. I'm 7% of the way through. Goose has just decided that now is the perfect time to eat. So we're just going to power through. Anyway, so I'm working on The Secret History. I'm reading the audiobook. So far, the audiobook is kind of a little bit weird. The main character, and most of the characters actually, are men, which I'm not into. There's only one girl. So far, this book is not looking like it's going to pass the Bechdel test. And the other thing that's like really throwing me off is the main character is from California, but the audiobook narrator has this weird accent where it's like sort of southern sounding at times. Like, especially when she says a word that has like an OU combination, but then sometimes it's not southern. It's very strange. And it's like maybe, I don't know, he's from Northern California, I think, so like maybe I just don't know the Northern Californian accent very well. I don't know. So that's kind of throwing me off. And I know that this is like how this book goes. Like I kind of know the vibe of this book, but the main characters, like they're just really pissing me off. They're just douchebags. And I know that that's like the point, that it's supposed to be like about how pompous and like, you know, academia can be and how they're like jerkwads. But I can get down. You guys have heard me say this. I can get down with an unlikable main character. But these guys are like, the main guy is like really unlikable. I'm only like 7% in and he's already stolen money from a professor. Like, how do you even do that? I don't even know. So I'm working on The Secret History. We'll see. I have 2 other audiobooks from the library that I need to get through. I decided to read The Invisible Life of Addie, LaRue after seeing some people gush about it online. I was like, I'm going to read a book like that. So I have that audiobook. And then I have the audiobook for Fire with Fire. So I'm just seeing if I like that one. And if I don't like it, I'll probably sell that copy because it's a Fairy Loot edition. So I have 3 audiobooks that I am working on. And then I have Audible audiobooks that I have. A copy of The Sword of Kaigen by Emma Wong. And then also I discovered that there are Audible original audiobooks that you can get for free on Audible, which I had no idea was a thing. So there's 2 of those, The Bridge Kingdom and The Bone Witch by Rin Chepeko. So I have so much reading to do. As always, like it's just like a lot all of a sudden. I finished Iron Flame this week. I need for you guys to finish this because we have got to talk about this. I know it was hinted around in the first book. It was hinted at that this might happen, okay? I'm very worried that it's actually going to happen. I was like, she's fucking with us. Like, she's got to be fucking with us. I don't think she is. And you want to know what else? I think I got a super rare copy in that there's nothing wrong with my copy. Like, I'm pretty sure I have all of my pages. My map is not upside down. The spine doesn't say 4th wing. It does say Iron Flame. It's not put on backwards. You know, my pages aren't put in backwards. My edges are a little wonky, which I don't think you can kind of see right there. It has like this weird thing all the way down. But other than that, there's some like glue seepage. I don't think you'll be able to see that. So my copy of this was good. So I think I have a pretty rare copy in that there's kind of nothing wrong with it. What a mess. Red Tower, get your shit together. You published this crap, okay? And this is a series. And then this crap? Come on. And people online are pissed and they have every right to be. This book was $30. This was $30. The original Iron Flame was $20. Okay. $10 more for shitty quality. We don't even get the cool sprayed edges. Like, these are stained edges. Like, but we don't get the fun dragons. I would have waited. I could have waited for this to have better quality. And I think that a lot of people online will agree. But anyways, I need you guys to read this because we have got to talk about it. I am upset. I am crushed. I am unwell. I read this in 24 hours, okay? I finished this book in 24 hours. I need help. So the other thing that I need to do for this reading vlog is I am going to attempt to finish The Witchwood Knot by Olivia Atwater. So far, I'm about 60% of the way through, which is pretty good because I was at about 15 or 20 when I left the last reading vlog. I've read some more on it. I am enjoying it. It's kind of stereotypical fairy stuff. I'm enjoying it. I like that it's linked back to the Half a Soul series. And I like the darker tone that it has. Like I'm enjoying the darker tone, but I'm not enjoying the treatment of the child. And I think that her intention was that this is kind of how Victorian children were treated, which I think that's, you know, it's accurate depiction, right? But it still makes me a little uncomfy. Don't like that so much, but we'll see how it ends. So that's the reading vlog. I have some food filming I have to do. I'm also expecting, I don't know if it's going to get here today. Hopefully it'll get here by tomorrow. An embroidery machine. So I may or may not be embroidering myself a little dragon shirt for Fourth Wing. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I may or may not have already ordered all of the stuff that I need from Amazon because I have a problem. So that's what we're doing here this weekend. Richie and I are going to go see a movie on Saturday. He's going to go back to the Renaissance Festival. I haven't decided if I'm going to go back. So yeah, that's what we're doing. And I will be back when there is more to update on the reading. Hello, I am back. It is Friday. Here's the update. I finished The Witchwood Knot. I really enjoyed that one a lot more than I thought I was going to. I was pretty concerned about how the characters were treating Robert, who was kind of a kid. And I think like after sort of sitting with it a little bit, it did get better. And it was just kind of like one instance of pretty poor treatment. It didn't bother me as much, but I did really enjoy it. I liked that the story was in the same world as Half a Soul. I really enjoyed that. I like the gothic feel. It felt like a real fairy tale. I really enjoy Olivia Atwater's writing. So I liked it. And I was kind of sad when I finished it because it felt like it was just getting to like the good part and then it was over, which that's kind of how Half a Soul felt too. Olivia Atwater gives you just enough and then she's like, boop, done. I read that. Then, on a whim, I decided to download from Kindle Unlimited The Gargoyle's Captain, which is the third book in Katee Roberts' monster romance series. I devoured that book. I finished it this morning. It was good. I really like those books. I like the different monsters. There's two more, and I can't wait to read those. So I wish there was going to be more in this series, and I honestly hope that Katee Robert figures out a way to make more. I would love that. I like the world. There's like just enough world building for me, and then it's just really character focused. I really enjoy it. It's good. Those were fun. It was not my favorite. I think my favorite is still The Dragon's Bride, the very first one. I officially decided to, this did not take very long, to DNF The Secret History. I just was listening and I was like, why am I listening to these pompous assholes be homophobic? Why would I want to listen to a book where most of the characters are men and they're just assholes? They're just assholes. I don't need a book to tell me that men in academia can be assholes. Like, I just wasn't into it. So, you know, maybe I'll try again some other time, but that's just not it for me. So now I'm listening to The Secret Life of Addie LaRue, and I almost DNF'd that one. I will DNF books with a reckless abandon. I mean, like, if I am not vibing with the book, I'm gonna quit reading it. And I may never pick it up again. And I almost DNF'd Addie LaRue because I was like, what is the point of this? Like, she's just being sad that nobody remembers her, but she's the one that made the deal with the devil. So I reread the synopsis and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep trying. But so far, it's just kind of sad and mopey. And I'm not super into that. I don't know. I'm worried that Iron Flame is gonna kind of throw me into a reading slump. Because nothing is giving me like the intensity and the vibes of Iron Flame, and that's what I'm wanting. Like, I finished The Hunger of the Gods and that was so good, and then I finished Iron Flame, and reading a book, like, I've been thinking about this a lot. Reading a book like The Shadow of the Gods and The Hunger of the Gods, where it's like obviously like well researched, it is a beautifully crafted story. Like, you can tell John Gwynne is like, you know, there's so much world building, and it's all like the characters, and you're just like so in love with them, and it's an intense story, and you know, like that kind of thing. That is like eating a well-balanced meal. That's like if Michelle Obama set down in front of you a perfect meal with like just enough protein, just enough carbs, just enough fat, just enough vegetables, perfectly balanced, and then you get like a little tiny cupcake for dessert at the end, so you have just a little bit of everything that you want, right? And you eat it and you feel satisfied, but you don't feel overfull, right? Okay, that is what like reading a John Gwynne or a Brandon Sanderson is like, right? Reading Iron Flame, okay, reading Fourth Wing, this is the same for ACOTAR too. It's like the day after Halloween and you go to the store and they have the candy bars on half off and you buy an entire bag and then you go home and you just eat it. You just eat it constantly, or like you get a bag of chips and you just keep eating it and eating it and eating it. It tastes good, all right? It tastes good and it feels good while it's happening. And then you get done with it and you're like, what the fuck just happened to me? That's how reading Iron Flame felt to me. It was like, I was like, I can't stop. And then it's like, what the fuck happened to me? And now, no other book compares. I'm worried that we're getting into reading slump territory. So I need to figure something out. Otherwise, I'm going to be in big trouble. And I do have several books on Audible that I'm wanting to read. So if Addie LaRue, and I know when I decided I wanted to read Addie LaRue that it was going to be sad, but I just don't know if I'm there. I'm not really sure where I'm going to go next. I really need to finish The Helm of Midnight. So what I may do, because I was really struggling to like read that one, what I may do is with my Audible credit next month is get the audiobook. Anyways, that's the update, and I will be back. I am back. It is now Tuesday morning. This is all wonky. Tuesday morning. I've been cooking. I need to wrap this up. So, yesterday, I thought I was going to make it out of this vlog without showing off any books that I bought. I did buy one book at McKay's that I've already put away. I got a copy of, what's it called? Looking Glass Sound by Catriona Ward. I've read one Catriona Ward book. I didn't like it as much, so I'm giving this one a try because a bookstore that I follow on TikTok really liked it. And I typically like their recommendations, so we're going to see. But I also got this in the mail. This is the UK Indie Bookshop edition of Britney Spears' book. I read this like 2 weeks ago, I think. I didn't read this on a vlog because I read it during the week. I loved Britney Spears when I was a kid, so I'm very excited to have this. I've been waiting for it for a couple weeks. But yeah, there might still be some copies available. It's only available to indie bookstores in the UK. I got mine from the Book House. There it goes. That's where it is. Anyways, shipping was outrageous, but it came from the UK, so that's to be expected. Let's talk about what I read this weekend, what I DNF'd this weekend, and my reading plan for the rest of the week. So I did decide to DNF The Secret History, which we already talked about. I just don't want to listen to men being pompous. Like, I just don't. I'm just not interested in hearing about that. I was really hoping that I would like that, because I really do like that part of dark academia where it's like kind of a commentary on academia as a whole, but yeah, I wasn't vibing. I have soft DNF'd The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I'm just not really in a place right now where I want to read that, and it's just too, like, potentially depressing. I finished The Witchwood Not. I enjoyed that a lot more than I thought I was going to. So there were some things about that I didn't like. I don't think it's my favorite Olivia Atwater. I definitely don't like it more than I liked Half a Soul. But I did really like the darkness of it. I liked the gothic kind of feel. I liked that it felt like a fairy tale. Overall, I enjoyed that one. I surprise read and finished The Gargoyle's Captive by Katee Robert. Really enjoyed that. I love a good monster romance. I just needed that. I just needed a good monster romance. And I started, and I'm about halfway through, Court of the Vampire Queen by Katee Robert, which I did not know when I started. It is a tie-in to The Gargoyle's Captive. So I'm excited to see how that plays out. I love that when authors write different books, but they're kind of like in the same universe. And like you have like crossover characters and that sort of thing. I really enjoy that. I'm enjoying that one. I like that this one has some like political stuff happening alongside the vampires. And I think I'm in my vampire era. I've read 3 or 4 vampire books this year. I read The Serpent and the Wings of Night. Love that. I read the Deborah Harkness, A Discovery of Witches. I enjoyed that. And I think I enjoyed it more than I thought I did when I initially read it, because I continue to think about it occasionally. And now I'm reading this. So if you have vampire book recommendations, please tell me, because I need more vampire books. And I am about halfway through Fire with Fire by Destiny Soria. I'm enjoying that one. Didn't have any expectations when I went into it. I just thought, I found the Fairy Loot edition at McKay's, and I thought, well, let me see if I like it. And so I am enjoying it. I think that if you go into it with high expectations, I don't think that you would like it. It comes off a little bit middle grade with like the writing and the voice of the characters and stuff. It could be the audiobook. So that could be it. But I am enjoying it. If you like books with dragons, this has dragons. And I like the dynamic between the two sisters. It feels like they love each other, but also there's some real competition based on like how they're raised in the family that they're in and that sort of thing. And I am enjoying that. I feel like it's realistic. And also kind of not realistic, but because it's, a book about dragons, but whatever. So I'm enjoying that. And yeah, and I think for the rest of the week, I'm going to try my best to finish Fire with Fire. I still have my hold from the library for Addie LaRue, so if I feel like finishing Addie LaRue, I may do that, but I'm not hopeful. And I also got a copy of The Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Cañas, I think is the author's name, and I'm very excited to read that. Because, it's more vampires! Excellent. More vampires. And I've heard really good things about that book and that author, so I am excited to read that. And I'm still fully in spooky season. I'm considering potentially reading if there's like a holiday fantasy book. Maybe I'm wanting to read like a little Christmas fantasy. I know that Kimberly Lemmings has one called Mistletoe. I don't know where I would get a copy of it. Anyways, that's it. I'll be back in a couple days for another reading vlog. I imagine I will probably end up reading The Vampires of El Norte for this coming weekend's reading vlog, just because it's probably going to take me another day or two to finish Fire with Fire. Be sure to come back next weekend for that one. Anyways, I will see you in the next video. Bye!